Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is Kyle and Drew with your sneak peek at next week, episode number 385, where Drew and myself will guide you through the comics originally releasing or into the month of July 5th, 2017. But Drew, before we get whatever's coming out in our local comic book shops, this coming Wednesday, the floodgates have opened on iTunes, my friend. And
what?
We have a trifecta of ratings and reviews from our wonderful listeners. And
3 in 1 week? Are you kidding me?
Yep. Me. Yeah, we're rocking it. It's exciting.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, all right, let's start with the one we got here just last Sunday from J.T. Kent. It says, my comic math is interesting book plus spec value equals buy the comic. Interesting with no real spec value equals buying the trade digitally and hopefully on sale. Kyle and Drew have been invaluable to me, even though I am not really a comics speculator. They help me determine future value by discussing what is in demand and what has low initial print runs on sales and what has happened historically with similar items. They also sometimes help me find interesting books that I may have missed. I listen to a lot of comic podcasts, but these guys are always at the top of my playlist every week. P.S. I also vote for the preview special.
We get a lot of love for that. That's cool.
So that's the first one. Very good. I always
Thank
love
you
to hear
to,
that.
is it J.T. Drew?
J.T. Kent.
J.T. Kent. Thank you, J.T. Kent. We appreciate that.
I don't know if it's any relation to Clark Kent or not. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, the next one we got on Monday from Chilean Hustle. It says, I listen to a lot of podcasts, from true crime to Dungeons & Dragons real play. But my favorite casts to listen to are comics related, as I've been collecting comics for nearly 30 years. One of my favorite comics casts, of course, is Comics for Fun and Profit, because I dream of selling and flipping... Flipping for a profit, because I dream of selling and flipping, but in reality have never been able to bring myself to sell even a single comic.
Awesome.
With the exception of a Married with Children #1, way back when I was still regretting that sales. Regardless, Kyle and Drew are awesome, and it makes collecting comics that much better for me to be able to listen to their insights. Finally, I don't normally write reviews, but felt compelled to do it this time because I want them to start casting on that 2-month pre-order speculation. Hells yeah. Also, I'm Chilean Hustle on the Slack channel, and a shout out is always appreciated, but not necessary.
Very cool. We appreciate that.
There's a PS as well.
Okay.
P.S. Drew, get some more coffee in your system. Although I have grown accustomed to your yawning in the cast. Not a gripe, just an observation. Keep up the great work. Much appreciated here in northern Vermont. Also, a quick shout out to his LCS, Killer Rabbit. Genuinely great people running that store.
Fantastic. I get that a lot, man. I must yawn tons.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, I'm up about an hour and a half past my bedtime when we record this. And Kyle is just getting started. So he's a night owl. I am not. And so we meet kind of in the middle, but I'm the one that's really doing the sacrificing.
Yeah, you do the sacrificing and the suffering. And also, Drew does his podcasts while breathing in and out of a paper bag. So I think that helps with it. A little oxygen deprivation.
And while we're being critical, Kyle's sick again, if you can't tell.
In case you didn't notice by the voice, I've yet again got the July, it's time for a cold.
It's 95 degrees out, and you've got the flu. That's fantastic. Hey, Chilean Hustle, thank you very much. Appreciate that, and thank you for taking the time to write that review for us. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah, it's awesome. Much appreciated, Chilean Hustle. Really, really do appreciate that. And shout out again to LCSs that take care of their people. Always something we want to shout out, because
it's very rare for us.
I was gonna say it's few and far between sometimes. So good on you. And our third one from just the other day from Tommy691 says, awesome show. I just started collecting again 3 years ago from scratch, and the show is very informative on learning the values and what to flip to fund my comic hunger. Thank you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was his name?
That was Tommy691.
Tommy691, thank you, Tommy691. We appreciate that very much. That is so cool. And
Up
you
to
too.
48, baby.
We're up to 48. That means we only have 2 more, and then we have to follow through on our promise.
Well, what did you promise for me again?
I promised that you would send everybody your Walking Deads.
Oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot of bucks, man.
Nope. I said we would start doing when the previews catalog came out. We will start going through the catalog before the order cycle and pulling flip picks out of all the publishers for them.
I like it.
And it's either going to be a very special episode, or just part of our regular sneak peek.
I like it.
Right
Very cool.
before our sneak peek, and I think I don't know. It might be long, but it'll probably be long.
Yeah,
it'll probably be long. But I will take some Red Bull.
Yeah.
Try to maintain.
Pop one of them monsters like we millennials like.
Are you really a millennial?
I'm unfortunately considered a millennial. It drives me up the friggin' wall. Whatever happened to Generation Y? We died already.
You're the oldest I am.
I'm 1981. I'm pigeonholed in the millennials.
Fantastic. We appreciate that. That was great. We've never had 3 in 1 week, so since we started, I don't think. Have to go back and look, but I think that seems like the great floodgates have opened. Only 2 away, folks, and you'll get what you want, and that'll be just in time for. If we do it in the next 2 weeks, that'll be just in time for the next preview cycle.
There you go.
So that should work out pretty well for you guys, and we got to do an extra episode. We got a great question from Julie over at VIP Comics, and it's a tough question, and I'm kind of I thought I'd throw it out there and get Kyle's take on it, and we might even throw it to our good friends at Cowabunga too for their take. But let me read it to you. Drew and Kyle, you guys had some good discussion about the time profit reality of speculating. If you recall, she's talking about the conversations. We had some feedback about just how much time it takes to comb through eBay and solicits and trying to come up with the right comic book to flip. And so that's what that was a conversation we had about a month ago, and she was responding to that, and we're just now getting around to answering her email. But I thought it was a good one, and I wanted to get some other people's insight on it. You guys had some good discussion about the time profit reality of speculating. A couple of things I noticed that are problematic in the flipping and spec business. Maybe you guys have some advice. We all use eBay as our primary, if not only, platform for selling, which is probably mostly true. On eBay, there are always people selling comics insanely cheap. I think they are just taking a loss on these to free up capital. The phenomenon is classic oversupply. I think the oversupply is not because there is low demand of that comic. I believe the oversupply is because there's low demand for buying that comic on eBay. For example, Secret Empire Zero's April numbers show approximately 162,000 units ordered. If Comics Pro is accurate, there are roughly 3,000 local comic shops in the country. That means on average, each store ordered about 54 of those Secret Empires. Also, let's assume 20% of that inventory is still on the shelves. So the average LCS sells about 44 copies of Secret Empire Zero. You guys all with me so far? Mm-hmm. Compare this to eBay. Between March 22nd, where you could pre-order it, and April 31st, only 30 copies of Secret War Zero were purchased through eBay. Not for a lack of supply. So the totality of all comic sellers on eBay are fighting over fewer customers than an average local comic shop. How does this make any sense? Is the worldwide demand outside of people with a local comic shop or online retailers like DCBS really only 30 people? This is why prices are too low and things don't sell at all most of the time. Any insight is welcome. As always, great job, Julie. Those are depressing numbers, and makes me, I know it's just one example and it's one comic and it could be an aberration because it's just Secret Empire Zero. But she makes a point. This book was the number one seller. It was the hottest thing out there, and she's tracking it over a month and a half almost, and 30 copies sold. Something that sold nearly 200,000 to the direct market. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But I wonder, she did a follow up because I was concerned about this as well. Is it there's a question of trust on eBay now? Have people lost their trust in eBay buying, or trusting the grading or the photos or whatever? Are they more inclined to go to, say, an onliner like Mile High or My Comic Shop? Midtown. Is PayPal the problem? I don't know if there's a trust issue on either pricing, shipping, damages, all of the above, grading, what that is, because I know there are shady sellers on eBay, and they've caused us a lot of us legit sellers that they've cost our reputation a hit. What do you think about all this stuff that she's talking about?
It's interesting. It's awesome that she went out and did the research on that. That's crazy that only, like I said, the 30 copies. But the first thing I thought of is what I have, my ever purchasing history on eBay. I've never gone to eBay to purchase a just singular comic that hasn't already sold through post-release. I've never thought of eBay as the source for that.
Yeah.
eBay is always the source for low supply.
Yeah.
If something is readily supplied, I legitimately go to Midtown online and make an order there. If it's not on a regular DCBS order. So, I don't think of eBay necessarily for that, but it leads kind of to the larger overarching, a lot of stuff sits on eBay quite a bit sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I 75% of my stock does not turn over in a 1 month period, and needs to be cycled back in at another time when I bring other stuff in to try to sell it. And sometimes I give up.
Yeah.
Because there is no interest. And that's probably, I don't have it packaged the right way, or it's not enticing enough for someone. So, so that it's part of it is, well, I'm not selling the right stuff. But then again, if eBay is not the go-to for comic selling, and it's My Comic Shop or Midtown or Mile High, God forbid, I can't imagine that would be it. But if there's some other, we have that Jason's friend in Hawaii who's selling on Instagram. I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups of sellers, comic sellers and I don't buy any there because I don't trust them. But I think trust is a big factor, and Midtown's not going to stiff you on it.
Correct.
They have a good reputation with you.
Yes.
And so that helps. I don't know
I know exactly what Julie's talking about. There are great deals to be had on eBay. Yes. Some of the better deals and some of the most deals I'm proud of I've picked up on eBay. Just watching things and getting them at the last second, or finding a book pigeonholed in a small lot that I really wanted and getting it for a good deal. But when you talk about eBay, everybody just thinks of it as, oh, I got screwed. I didn't get the book I wanted. I got to go get gouged for it on eBay as the secondary market. So it continues to have that reputation of low supply, high price. I'm stuck. I've got to get it there. So most people don't think I should comb through eBay because I can snag some deals. But you really can, but you got to put in the time to look for things, mark things on your watch list, look for open non-specific lots, and find things in there that aren't necessarily labeled the best. But there are absolutely deals out there. But most people don't think of that. People think, crap, I'm stuck going to eBay to get gouged. I've seen a lot of things being sold. We talked about Facebook. I've seen a big trend as people using Facebook Live to auction and sell as well. Have you seen those?
No, I've not seen a live auction yet. I mean, I've seen a lot of people do reply auctions.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've seen some other stuff, and then they DM each other and get the details they need to make the transaction happen. But there is no oversight. So if person X doesn't send person Y their comics, I don't know what the recourse is.
Yeah.
For things like that. But, then you bypass fees. And I can see why they would want to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's called Feebay for a reason.
Yeah. There's been many times I've thought, I'll put that book up, and I'm like, all right, chuck the 10%. I'd probably have to put free shipping in order to move that. Chuck that out. It's not worth my time. Throw it in a short box.
Yeah. Or, like I'm not going to be able to sell this for the amount of money that would take for me to ship it and box it, so I'm gonna have to bundle it with 5 or 6 other comics in order for this to be enticing to someone to buy. Then it's worth my time to box it up and my time to ship it for free. But a lot of times people they just want the one.
Yeah.
And I can't afford to sell it for what its actual value is and ship it for free and box it up and run it to, I can't do all that. So, yeah, it is a challenge.
Yeah, single books are really tough, especially like you're talking Secret Empire. If you're going to buy a book, so it's what, a $4 book, $5 book, normally your average single book is at the very minimum $2.99 shipping. So, if you're buying it for cover on eBay, you're right out of the gate, even if you're pre-ordering it, paying $8 probably.
Yeah.
It just isn't a value proposition.
What a hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah, for $8 you can get a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 15 if you pre-order it.
Yeah, and you got an LCS that has that kind of thing sitting.
But you have any other thoughts on this, Kyle?
Yeah, well, no, I've got a bunch of things rolling around in my head, but I have nothing concrete to talk about now.
Okay. I hope that's some good insight. If you guys have thoughts on that, we'd love to hear what you have to say, what your thoughts are on eBay, comic selling, anything, something we may have missed, some angle that we should be, some new. Maybe Snapchat is the way to sell comics now. I don't know.
Let me go out and find those pair of Snapchat glasses everybody's looking for.
And we'd love to hear more from you. And there's tons of ways to reach out to us. But go to our website, comicsfunprofit.com, and find all our links. You can send us an email directly, comicsforfunandprofit@gmail.com, or find us on Facebook or Twitter, and we're easy to get to. Anywho, I think that covers it. We should probably do some sneak peeks, shouldn't we?
Yeah, now that we've got all that out of the way, we've looked deeper into some things. We've talked a bit about, we've patted ourselves on the back for our 5-star reviews and everything. Let's head over to previewsworld.com. Let's start on the month of July, more particularly July 5th, right after July 4th, 2017. Let's start, Drew, where we always love to start. Let's start in Dark Horse.
We have Zodiac Star Force Cries of Fire, Prince #1. Say that
Does
5
that all
times
fit
fast.
on the front of a book?
Isn't that crazy? This is written by Kevin Panetta, with art and cover by Paulina Ganesho, with about an elite group of teenage girls with magical powers that have sworn to protect our planet against dark creatures, as long as they can get out of class. Known as the Zodiac Star Force, these high school girls aren't just combating math tests, they're also battling monsters. After defeating a former ZS member and her mean girl minions, the girls thought they'd get a little break, but a new big bad's come out to play, and demons are starting to overrun the downtown. Cover's kind of cool. It's got like a Thundercats look vibe to it, maybe a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers kind of a thing. Something going on there. The solicit makes me think that this is maybe a return to a story. Maybe Zodiac Star Force's Cries of Fire Prince is actually like a second or third volume. I must have missed it. I didn't pay attention the last time.
I don't think we're the key demo, so I'm not going to blame you for missing that one.
Yeah,
Drew.
May have missed that one. But it looks competently created. If that sounded good to you, check that out.
There are multiple volumes of Zodiac Star Force by the power of Astra. So yes, we've missed the boat on this one, my friend.
Well, look at you doing research.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a few things came out in. I'm not being told a year on this one, but yeah, we're behind the 8 ball on this one.
That's it for me, man.
Nothing else for us in Dark Force. We've got Predator, we're passing up, and Visitor, How and Why He Stayed, number 5. That one ended before I even realized it began. That's Hellboy. Gotcha. Yep. Okay. Let's head on down to DC Comics.
Some fun stuff here. We've got the third printing of Batman 24, which is a sketch cover. Where him actually saying "Marry Me." I think this will be kind of hot. I'm excited about it. I should have ordered a ton of those, and I didn't.
It wasn't available. It was a tiny window to get that one. If you walked into an LCS and there are 5 of them, buy all 5.
Oh, I have one coming in. I just didn't buy more than one.
Oh yeah.
I
think they're going to be super.
I didn't get the second printing. The second printing was the one that the window closed so fast I couldn't get it.
Nobody wants that. Everybody wants that third.
You think it is the sketch that's the one?
Oh, yeah. When you talk about people looking at things and scuttlebutt and all that stuff,
yep.
Everybody wants that sketch. Nobody cares about the red background of the second. So,
and they're doing a 4th printing on this.
What's it look like?
It looks like a recolored version of the first printing.
Boo. Which isn't what the second printing is.
Yeah. And in more Batman news, if you've read the first part of War of Jokes and Riddles, Tom King is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
That was a great issue that followed up 24, which was a great issue, that followed up that Button miniseries that was great. So
this is how Batman stays above 100,000 every month consistently.
I don't know who's whining around about Tom King still, but these have been great stories so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
This War of Jokes and Riddles, I was not enamored with it when I first
See
saw
that title. I'm like, you got it. Yeah, I'm in. That title sounds great. And like, if you look at this one, Mikhail Yanin, my boy, is doing the art. So yeah. And
there's a cool Poison Ivy cover, but there's also the main Joker cover, which I'm more partial to. Absolutely. I'm always partial to Joker covers for some reason. I'm drawn to them. But yeah, it's been great reads. I don't know what kind of idiot would have dropped off of Batman from after New 52 when Rebirth happened, but if that person rhymes with Drew, he was a fool and is back on him now.
Yeah. I mean, not that there weren't struggles when it started. It was always intriguing when it started, with the Gotham and all that. But yeah, we were hoping they'd find their footing, and
I think he has. It feels good. It feels right.
I mean, Tom King's just crushing it. Even we just talked off air about how Batman and Elmer Fudd blew up and went to $10 plus on the secondary market. I mean, he's touching stuff and making it good. So we missed that one. That's one I ordered, but wasn't high on when we talked spec in our last podcast. But even
we just kind of brushed over it. We're like, because I read some of the other ones already, and I was like, I'm sure it'll be all right, but I wasn't looking forward to it. But everybody's really, really high on it, which is cool. Things that people are high on also, Deathstroke. Eisner-nominated Deathstroke. Really cool cover A.
That cover freaks me out. I don't like it.
Cover B is also pretty sweet. This is a new story arc.
Yeah.
It's written by Christopher Priest. This art is going to be Diogenes Neves, which I just butchered, I'm sure. And Ryan Sook did that cover. And I think I'm going to hop back on.
Did you catch the plot? Did you read the first of this plot?
Go ahead.
A new day has dawned for Deathstroke. Having emerged from the Speed Force, a changed man, Slade Wilson takes aim at living a better life. A life in service of justice. But when the world refuses to accept the new Deathstroke, Slade recruits a group of young heroes to join him, including former Teen Titans, Kid Flash, and Power Girl, his children Rose and Jericho, and the bombastic Terra. But has Slade truly shed his villainous past? And what other shadowy forces are working against him? Find out as Deathstroke's bold new direction begins here. He was in the Speed Force. What the friggin' heck? How cool is that?
I don't know. That's might be neat.
Yeah,
might be a neat one. If you take a look at Green Arrow 26, written by Ben Percy, art by Stephen Byrne, and a cover by Otto Schmidt.
It's called
Hard Traveling Hero. It's a great cover.
Gosh, I love
Ollie
that cover.
and the Flash, and it's the beginning of this Hard Traveling Hero story arc. And unwilling to let another city suffer the same fate as Seattle, Green Arrow kicks off a new quest to hunt down the Ninth Circle across America to stop disaster before it can happen. The infamously hot-headed Oliver Queen must mend fences with those he's alienated past, starting with the Flash. The second epic year of Green Arrow rebirth begins here. So all the 26s, I guess, are the official start of their second year. Although there was like a rebirth one and then an actual number one. So wouldn't it have been like 23 or 24?
No. Well, I mean, they're just considering it, 52 weeks in a year, half that's 26, boom.
Yeah. All right. I can see that.
But this is one of those books where I don't have the Green Arrows. I don't have this run, but I'm going out and grab that cover just because I love that cover.
Well, look at the cover B for Green Arrow.
Great. Want it. I want that cover A. I don't know why.
But it's also nice. It's also very nice.
Not sweating it at all, but yeah. That's the cover A just looks like something I want on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a really nice cover. Green Lanterns 26, also a new story arc starting up. This one written by Sam Humphries with art by Ronan Clickett and a Mike McCone cover. That is pretty sweet as well. Out of Time Part 1 starts here. 10 billion years ago, Volthoom nearly wiped out the Guardians of the Universe. What power was able to stop him, and where did it go? Learn more about the history of the first Lantern as Out of Time begins. Nice looking covers, both A and B there as well. Now we got kind of a black and white looking cover A for Harley Quinn, with a lot of diamond faces of her. Kind of nice. Wacky cover B with her and Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy on the cover. Seem to be dancing with something. That'll be exciting for somebody.
Yep. It's got the Batman coming from the radio.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Don't know if that's a cool homage to Adam West thrown in there or not.
Yeah. And for some reason, Aquaman is crossing over with Justice League.
Yeah.
So last week's Aquaman continues in this week's Justice League, and then back into Aquaman again.
And that cover B Mira is pretty rad. Actually, cover A is pretty cool too.
Was it washed out, or is that just the sun behind her?
Yeah, just the sun.
I don't know if I like that.
Oh, I think it's great.
Paul Pelletier doing that cover with Sandra Hope.
My boy Nightwing on Nightwing 24 in that blue and black suit. Can't beat that. Blockbuster Part 3. Nightwing is trapped on a submarine, and in order to escape, he must defeat the most lethal villains of the DCU, led by Tiger Shark. And if he can't escape, Blockbuster will get what he wants. All of his criminal competition... Let me try that word again. All of his criminal competition at the bottom of the sea, along with Nightwing.
Shade the Changing Girl. I'm been enjoying this Young Animal book, and if you recall, there was this old time show that Shade was watching from whatever world that she was in, because this is a weird comic. But it was called Honey, and they're going to do a Honey backup story in this one. A little more about that character that could be interesting. And could go in an interesting direction. Kind of a cool blueprint-looking cover that Shade 10 has. So check that out if you're still into Young Animal.
Man, it is just a friggin' week for awesome DC covers.
I know both those covers are amazing.
Man, Superman 26.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And then the variant is a Jorge Jimenez. It's an homage cover. It's just written after Fred Ray, or I think it says, I can't read because my eyes are watery. But yeah, man, gosh, this is a week where I will buy books just for covers, because I sometimes do that, and this week has just got everything you could ever want.
I think I like the cover A little better.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah,
that's Lee Weeks.
It is Lee Weeks. Superman and Superboy's teamwork is off, and Clark is at a loss for how to fix it. Maybe an old trick Pa pulled when Clark was a boy might help get the father-son team back on the right track. I love these kind of interstitials, like right in the middle. Just put them together. Have a one. It looks like a one-off. This is kind of like the county fair we had at issue 11.
Yeah, I like them
so
too.
This is one I can't wait to read. And I'll buy this and put this right next to that issue 10. I love so much that cover.
Nice.
Anything else in DC?
No, a lot of good stuff, though.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff. Let's head on down to IDW.
We have Diablo House #1, written by Ted Adams, with art and a cover by Santa Perez. Located along the sleepy coastal town of La Jolla, California, Diablo House lets you make your dreams come true if you dare. Surf Bum and Diablo House host Riley takes us into his home and shares the stories of the people who let their desire come at the cost of all else, inspired by the classic horror comics of the past. I've never read this.
Nope, but it sounds like Simpsons in the Treehouse of Horrors.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks a little. It's got an independent comic look.
Yeah, I like it.
Not in a good way.
Not for me.
Yeah, it looks like the art's not quite there. How about Hanazuki Full of Treasures, #1? This is an all-ages title written by David Marriott with art and cover by Nico Pena. A Moonflower is Born, the origin of Hanazuki. Based on the new digital first show, Hanazuki Full of Treasures, comes a comic retelling of the birth of Hanazuki.
Drew, what did we always say when this is in the tagline? Based on the first episode of the Hanazuki Full of Treasure, which has over 2 million views on YouTube.
Gotta bounce.
Me too. Peace.
We gotta bounce from that. No good can come from the YouTube inspiration.
No.
I apologize. I'm sorry for wasting your time, listeners, and Kyle.
Yes. Moving on. Anything else?
I won't do it again.
Anything
I probably
else
will
from
do it again.
IDW? Yeah, we'll fall into that again sometime.
Yeah.
Anything else in IDW?
Mm-mm.
All right, let's see what Image has in store for us.
Well, I don't know if they're my boys or your boys, but maybe they're our boys. Jeremy Hahn and Jason Hurley have Beauty #16 coming out, finishing up their story arc, which has been great. Great. This is the third story arc, and man, so good, so stinking good. And I just want to read this comic forever, and I hope they never stop making it. It's so good.
Each arc is very fresh. They switch things up. It doesn't just continue along the same narrative. They've built a world, and they play in it.
There's a lot in this world. It's huge. And we're just getting little dribs and drabs and tastes of it. But for 6 issues, it's so much fun.
Yeah. Nice little trade for loose ends there. Wish it was a little cheaper than that, but to each their own.
I don't even remember how it ended.
I don't either.
I don't remember how loose ends ended.
Yeah.
There's your boy, Rat Queens.
Ah, yes, Rat Queens, and we have a Images of Tomorrow variant, which I was just like, I don't think I care.
I don't even get what they're going for here. Do you?
I think it's like, hey, take your characters and put them in the future. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. None of those worked for me.
Yeah, no.
And they didn't do a Walking Dead. So
yeah, I passed on all of them. All right, go ahead.
Rock Candy Mountain #4. This is the best hobo comic I've ever read. I'm telling you.
You heard it here first, folks.
This is the end of the story arc, and this has been really, really cool. Kind of like Slam made me enjoy roller derby comics for the first time. This
makes you want to be a hobo.
Kind of makes me want to be a hobo. It's really cool. Art style is not for everyone, but the story is really good.
All right. What about the Sacred Creatures #1? This is written by Pablo Raimondi and Klaus Janson, with Pablo Raimondi on art as well. When the supernatural forces maintaining the fragile balance of power in this world start unraveling, Josh Miller, a young college grad and expecting father, is caught in the middle of a vast conspiracy threatening to tear apart the foundations of humanity as we know it. As myth and reality collide, Josh finds himself on the front line of a battle against an enemy dating back to the beginning of time itself. Klaus Janson is apparently a comic legend we know from Daredevil, Dark Knight Returns, and Pablo Raimondi did X-Files and the Book of Doom. Oh, 66 pages for $5.
Not bad.
I'd rather they just throw in those pages for free and keep it 4, but nobody seems to want to do that.
Snot Girl #6. It's back. Took a little break.
Yeah.
Seemed to have taken a little break. Maybe it was planned. I don't know. But this is, of course, written by Brian Lee O'Malley and Leslie Hung, with art and cover by Leslie Hung. And I'm not sure where this new arc is going to go. But the first arc was fun. I liked it. And I'm looking forward to it. It's not as good as Scott Pilgrim, but it's still a good read.
There you go. 7 to Eternity 7 is out. That book's still on fire.
I will attempt to read all of Walking Dead 169 Solicit.
All right.
From their new story arc, Lines We Cross. It is time for Dwight to step up.
Step up.
Step up, Dwight.
Oh, wow. 168 was a book to have. I picked up a few extras of those. I'm curious what 169 has.
Because of the character death?
Yes.
Or something else?
Correct.
So something else or the character death?
The death.
Okay.
We got a Jock variant of Wicked and Divine. That is cool looking. I still prefer my cover A's on those, but that is pretty wicked.
And this is a new story arc.
And see like the Images of Tomorrow for Wicked and Divine.
That's a good one. The Tombstone?
Yeah, they're all dead because they don't last long.
That's what I liked. I liked that one.
Yeah, that one's pretty rad.
That would have been a good one to get.
Yeah. Anything else in Image? All right, let's head down to Marvel. See what we got.
Oh, what's not a Secret Empire tie-in?
Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again is not a Marvel tie-in. Cullen Bunn. Remember the time Deadpool went a little too crazy and killed the entire Marvel Universe? Well, this isn't that. This is a different time. Writer Cullen Bunn and artist Dalibor Talisic, a.k.a. the creator behind Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, the first one, have reunited for another tale of Deadpool taking out all of your faves in the most horrific ways possible. It's gonna hurt him more than it hurts you, and you're gonna love it. Those are usually fun.
Yeah, but not for me.
Yeah, not for me either.
Black Bolt number 3. Enjoying this, surprisingly. Thanks to Wolf for putting this on my radar. And it's been a good comic. It's really, I don't know Saladin Ahmed as the writer, and I don't know the art of Christian Ward, but it all works really well together. And Black Bolt's able to talk in this comic, so that helps. That helps a lot. Now, if he escapes from this prison that he's in and he can no longer talk, I don't know if I'll enjoy this comic as much, because I like my lead characters to talk.
Don't like the old mute protagonist.
It's tough. Although I did watch Baby Driver tonight, and he doesn't say much, and it was really good.
He speaks through our boy. What's the director? Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright, yeah. All right. Well, we'll mention another Secret Empire tie-in, and that is Champions. Champions will be put to the ultimate test. No small town problem that they're facing. It's up to them to help right an entire world turned upside down. This book is not written for me, but I like it anyway. It's really good, and I think that last issue with Viv Vision and that new character Red Locust, and her first appearance was really a great breakout issue as well. And this is, I think, an underappreciated comic.
Yeah, how many friggin' Spider-Man comics do we need? Good God. Spider-Man Master Plan #1 from Robbie Thompson with Nathan Stockman on art. It includes a special reprinting of ASM #2, The First Appearance of the Vulture. I mean, we got our Zdarsky one, we got our main line, we got they're doing too much.
Yeah, you got Miles Morales.
Yep.
And you got 2099. You've got that Scarlet Spider now. I don't know what's that one called.
Yeah, we're
plus
doing your vows.
plus all the female spiders.
Yeah.
Stuff. Lots of them.
Star Wars 33 from Jason Aaron, Salvador La Roca. The heroes of the rebellion and the princess of the revolution, Luke and Leia, finally get some time alone. Unfortunately, it's stranded on a desert island. But it looks like it, yeah. It's pretty rad.
I finally have a chance to get Amazing Fantasy.
There you
First
go.
appearance of Spider-Man for $1 in True Believers.
Get these. They're
I
always
think these
fun
are
to
cool.
Get. They're awesome.
I don't want the Spider-Man Todd McFarlane series, because I have that.
There you go.
Or the Brand New Day. But the Amazing Fantasy, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Heck yeah. Venom 6 going back for a second print, just an off-collar one. Same thing with all your X-Men Gold and Blue reprints.
Yeah, so they're doing well, I think.
Yeah, seem to be.
And those are still, the second printings are Syaf variants. He's the guy that got fired.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're still using him for new covers, but maybe
he probably had some banked.
Yeah. And then X-Men Gold #7.
Yep. Secret Empire tie-in.
And you're telling me there's some scuttlebutt on the internet about Secret Empire #5 that came out that you're not going to spoil for me. But
correct. I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to tell you anything. But just people are like, "Oh, come the heck on!"
But there's some backlash.
Yes, people are not happy.
Wheels falling off.
People are questioning your boy Nick Spencer.
My boy? Oh no!
I know. I'm with you.
I'll judge for myself.
Yeah. Do it quick before somebody tells you what happens.
I will. Better read it tonight.
Anything else in our good friends at Marvel?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. All right, let's head on down to the back half. Let's look at our Onis, our booms, our dynamites, our lion forges, all that fun stuff.
Well, I don't know that Donny Cates is still as hot as he was. Baby Teeth doesn't seem to be quite as hot.
Okay.
But the second issue is out, and Kyle and I have kind of a theory about second issues.
Yeah.
Underordered, notoriously underordered.
Tragically.
Because if a number one is underordered, LCSs by and large reduce their orders of number twos by 30 to 40%, because that's notoriously what the drop is. So if they're off on the one, then the two is also off, and they usually don't have enough time to alter that based on any kind of reader
Trends.
input or customer request. You know, they can't really react until issue 3. So if you're in on number 1, it's a good idea to always go in on number 2, because that's a 1-2, and it could be a 1-2 punch, and it could be a short print run, a small print run, and very good for you. There's not going to be any adjustments made at that point, and that's our opinion. Yeah. But this is also not as hot as God Country, and what was the other? Redneck.
Yeah.
Donny Cates. Still time, but not yet.
Yep.
Get the 45 different covers of Belladonna's annual.
Yeah. The 15 covers of Ash versus Army of Darkness.
If you're into Valiant, and some of you are all in on Valiant and love it, there's something called Bloodshot's Day Off, number 1, written by Elliot Ray Hall with art by Kari Evans. And there you go. Don't forget about that. I am not all in on Valiant, and just sample occasionally. But I know they have passionate fans. You think Casper is ready to make a resurgence? Because Casper the Friendly Ghost number 1 is out. It is an American Mythology Productions release with a bunch of writers, a couple of artists, and trying to rekindle and see if today's kids enjoy Casper, or maybe this is just for old guys who loved Casper a long time ago.
No kidding. Yep, no.
I was never a fan, so it doesn't hit any nostalgia buttons for me.
Me either.
The aforementioned Lion Forge, nice name check there, was Claudia and Rex, number 1, written by Ulysses Farinas and Eric Freitas, with art by Daniel Irizarry. A lushly rendered supernatural fantasy that follows 2 girls and their mother who find themselves in the middle of a vast supernatural exodus. On their journey, Claudia is bestowed the powers of hundreds of different gods, but even those don't help her come to terms with the death of her father. I like this cover. I like this art on this cover. I think the solicit sounds decent. I think there's potential here for this one. This is probably going to be lucky to sell 3,000 or 4,000 copies. So if you also think this might have a chance to catch fire, get in there early for this one, because it's not going to be in a lot of stores.
There you go. Drew, if you know anything about Kyle, you know Kyle and his 3 children are oddly into the 1950 versions of the television Gumby series.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So here we have Gumby number 1 from Paper Cuts. Gumby, Pokey, and the gang are back with new adventures for the first time in over 10 years. So
you need to get this.
Yeah, I'm in. I mean, but that's specifically because we have a weird Gumby thing around my home. It's not so like a weird Gumby thing, but it's just odd that I have children born in now that are like, ooh, this show from 1950, stop animation, let's watch it again.
And again.
And again.
And again.
Yeah.
We have Justice Incorporated, Faces of Justice #1, written by Kyle Higgins, your boy,
Hey.
and Joe Gentile, with art by Alex Shabao and a cover by Tom Mandrake. No man is above the law. When the FBI discovers evidence that incriminates Richard Benson in a brutal murder, the Avenger finds himself arrested and subjected to an intense investigation by the Bureau's best agents. Now, the Justice Incorporated team must spring into action to save their leader and discover if there's a sinister plot at play. Or could the Avenger actually be guilty of such a heinous crime? Okay, so this is an old character.
Yeah.
With the dusting off, Dynamite's dusting off, which they like to do, a la Green Hornet.
From American Gothic Press, Killbox, Chicago #1. You remember Killbox, Drew?
Yeah, Killbox Los Angeles was really good.
It's back. AGP's gritty saga of rage and violence takes to the streets of Chicago, where new contestants and one old are preparing for a new game. Oddly enough, every time I visit Chicago, I feel like I'm in this comic.
Have you done any killing?
Nah, but I always feel like someone is coming after me.
Anytime now, it could happen. Nam Wolf going to second printing. That's cool.
Always good. Another series of Lady Mechanica. Clockwork Assassin #1.
Sabrina has a 7th issue. I can't believe that. 4th issue for Skyborn. I'd kind of forgotten about that Frank Cho book.
Oh my goodness, I had 2.
Yeah, so it's 4th issue is out.
3rd issue of Stain from 451 Media.
Unholy Grail from Aftershock is written by Colin Bunn. With art by Mirko Kolick. And this is about Arthur Pendragon, who was the king of all Britain.
Yep.
The story is legendary. Merlin, the Lady of the Lake, Excalibur, Camelot, the Knights of the Round Table. These stories are bright lies painted over the truth. Here is presented the gospel of Arthur's bloody rise to power in his unholy reign. The legend of King Arthur is not the stuff of legends, but the fuel of nightmares. As Arthur descends in the darkness, is there any lingering hope that he might still might do something good? That sounds really good.
Yep, I ordered cover A's. I ordered cover B's. I like Aftershock. I was all in on the previews for this one.
Yeah, that sounds good. And there's a Franco Francavilla.
Yep, I ordered it.
Cover B, that looks really nice.
Yep.
And of course, Kyle's mantra is cover A, cover A, cover A. So you gotta get them both. Yeah. Either get them both or just get cover A.
If you grab, because Francavilla cover B would be cool too.
Yeah. If you
like
like
I said, I ordered 2 A's and a B on this.
So if you like Unholy, then you can also get Unsound #2 from Boom, and also Colin Bunn, who wrote this one, with artist Jack Cole. And this is the 2nd issue, where Ashy uncovers a horrifying secret in the deeper levels of the asylum, and not everyone in her group will make it out alive.
Mwahaha.
The old Colin Bunn twofer.
Zombie Tramp Origins #1. When Zombie Tramp first came out, it was a pretty big deal. I'm not sure that anybody necessarily cares about the origin story, but it's possible.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, we've come to the end of our list, so this is the point where I harken back a little ways and say, what is your book of the week, Drew? What is the one book to go snag up? Make sure you hit your LCS right as it opens. Take home with you, sealed in that bag and board, throw in that long box, or directly on eBay. What is it, brother?
Well, I was thinking it was some recency bias, but the more I look at everything, there's some really cool covers in DC, and I like that third printing of 24 a lot, but I think I'm going to go with that Unholy Grail.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that's the pick of the week, and something that has the most potential.
Yeah, I completely second that. It's going to be the one to grab, look for. It sounds good, it looks good, so no reason not to. If there's going to be movement on anything from weird covers, it'll be that 7 to Eternity Image of Tomorrow variant, just because of how under-ordered and how people seem to want all the covers for 7 to Eternity. What was that number 2 we talked about being short run? Baby Teeth, number 2. Snag that.
Yeah, Baby Teeth.
Yeah, make sure you get Baby Teeth. And then go to the DC section, look at the covers, and buy one. I'll leave it to your discretion.
There's some pretty ones up there.
If you see the third printing of Batman 24 and you do not buy it, send me an email and tell me why, because I'm going to call you crazy. Because, yeah, that book is going to fly.
Because, regularly, go back to a print,
Yeah.
a second or a third time, you get diminishing returns. So
Correct.
you might get 8,000 on that second printing. You might get 5 or 6 on that third printing, right?
Sketch cover.
It's a
Beautiful
sketch cover.
sketch cover. Beautiful.
And it's got a proposal from Batman to Catwoman on the cover, and him saying the words "Marry me." That's kind of cool.
Yeah. If you see the second print, move it out of the way and see if there's third prints behind it. Got it? So, find some DC covers you like. Batman 24 third print, buy them all. Baby Teeth 2, might not be around, snag it up. Unholy Grail, cover A. Cover B might not be too bad either.
Yeah.
So, Comics for Fun Profit, thanks you for tagging along with Drew and myself to episode number 385. Of course, we've told you in the beginning you can leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, just like 3 of our new best friends have this week, and we appreciate them. Of course, Comics Fun and Profit on Twitter. We are on Facebook, and drop us a line on our Gmail account. Perhaps there's something we missed this week that we didn't grab, like our True Believers Amazing Fantasy 15 reprint for $1. Gotta have that. So we thank you once again for joining us. For Drew and for myself, see ya.